I cannot believe what we just watched. We got to talk about the Sixers and Celtics Game 4. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and subscribe to the channel for more. But, this game was crazy. You had the Sixers. The Sixers were up by like 8 to 10 most of the game. And you felt like, the Celtics were within reach the whole game. And I was watching this game, and around halftime, or beginning of like the middle of the third quarter, I was like, you know what? Sixers got a nice lead. I think they might be able to, to win this game. And oh my gosh, that quickly changed, because they went into the fourth quarter with a 7-point lead, and they ended up losing the lead, ended up having to fight from behind the last 2 minutes, managed to tie the game to send it to overtime. And the overtime, that overtime almost killed me. You had that awful no call. I mean, Tatum full-on shoved Maxey and got away with it right in front of the referee. And he hit that three to take a 2-point lead. I don't know what the ref was looking at, and I don't know why he didn't call that. That was an obvious offensive foul. That was such a push-off. But then, Sixers come right down the other end, and and Brown and Tatum double team Embiid when Al Horford is right there on the strong side. So Embiid just throws it out to Harden for three, and Harden cashes in and gives the Sixers a 1-point lead. And then the Sixers lock down on the other end, and Smart gets his shot off after the buzzer sounds, and so his shot goes in, but it doesn't count. And oh my gosh, when that Smart shot went in, I was like, it didn't even click that it made it. And then I was like, oh crap, he made that. And then I looked at the score and I saw 118 to 116. I was like, what? Did they really just lose? And then I was hearing oh, he didn't get it off in time. I was like, wait, what? He didn't get it off in time? I was just in a state of shock, because I was like, wow, they really just blew this game. And Smart really just hit a game-winning three in the playoffs. He ain't ever doing that again in his career. But I'm just kidding. Maybe. Smart's really hot and cold. He's a streaky shooter. I mean, 33% from three, 32% from three in his career, 33% from three this season, in the regular season. He's a streaky shooter. But after I saw that he didn't get it off in time, I was so relieved. Sixers tied the series up 2-2. And I mean, Harden, I was very critical of Harden last game, and deservingly so. He was awful in that game 3. He was bad in game 2, but the whole team was bad in game 2. So I can excuse that, because everybody played bad for the most part. But game 3, if Harden even has an okay game, then the Sixers would have won game 3. And if the Sixers would have won game 3, you're looking at potentially the Sixers being up 3-1 instead of the series being tied 2-2. But man, I'm just glad the Sixers didn't go down 3-1. That would have been horrible. Probably would have ended the series. But now the series is 2-2, essentially 0-0. Best of 3 series now. And, you got 2 games in Boston, 1 in Philly. You got to, if you want to win this series, you got to take game 5. I mean, I could see them taking game 7, but it would be really hard. I think game 7 would be really tough. But I think game 5, outside of game 3, I think game 5 will probably end up being the toughest game in the series, and you need to win that. You need to win the toughest game in the series, because the Celtics already won the toughest game in the series in game 3. So you just won the game in game 4 off of a James Harden game winner once again. He had 42 points. He had a great game. He had a near triple-double. I think he finished with 42, 8, and 9. Just incredible. He had some really nice defensive plays too. He was locked in. And you need him to be locked in on game 5. Embiid had a good game with 34 and 13. But man, he was getting locked up by Al Horford in the fourth quarter. Just hated to see that. I don't know why they were going one-on-one with that matchup, because they were running pick and roll basically the whole game and dominating. But once it went to the fourth quarter, they just kind of abandoned that, and they were just let's go one-on-one. And that just made it so easy for Embiid to get doubled, and then he'd rush his shot or he wouldn't be comfortable, and then that would allow Al Horford to get a block on him. And I am so glad the Sixers won, because that Al Horford shimmy made me so mad, because I was like, wow, like, you're really going to shimmy after you dunk? Like, I know, like, Philly hates you, but, like, dang, man. Like, you really want to be like that? Like, that shimmy just made me so mad. I imagine that's how the Raptors felt when Embiid airplaned back when Kawhi was on the Raptors. But anyway, you managed to win this game, and this game was really tough, but Game 5 is going to be the toughest game of the series, until Game 7. But you got the job done. You tied the series up. If someone would have told me that the series would be tied 2-2 like a week ago, I would have been very happy. But I think, Game 3 just left such a bad taste in everyone's mouth. I think this game left a little bit of a bad taste with the way you blew the lead. But the fact that you won, I think that gives you the momentum. I mean, Harden just had a monster game. Embiid had a very good game. If Embiid plays better, and you don't get exactly this from Harden, but you get a very good game from Harden, you got a real shot at winning Game 5. Maxey was really bad in this game again, just horrible shooting-wise. I feel like Maxey's due for a big game. And, if you get a big game from Maxey where he's finally hitting his shots, then really, if Embiid or Harden, if one of those guys steps up, you got a real shot of winning too. But if all three can step up in one game at once, then that's like you should not lose that game. And I mean, you should not have lost this game. And thankfully they didn't, because you had Harden drop 42 and you had Embiid drop 34. Like, they combined for 76 points. 76ers. But I think that's the first time they've combined for more than 30 each. Or not combined, but that's the first time they've each had 30 or more. I think that's what the broadcast said. And I mean, this is also the first time that Embiid had a teammate in a game he played in score 40 or more, which is crazy. Like, in his entire career, that's never happened. This game was really frustrating. But I'm just so happy the Sixers won it. And I mean, you're going back to Boston. It's a best-of-3 series now, like I said earlier. And you got to come out of the gate firing. You got to come right out and just punch the Celtics in the mouth. Because, they're going to be mad after this one. They were mad after that Game 1 loss they suffered. They're going to be mad after this one. But you got to come out of the gate. You got to, lock it all down. And you got to punch them in the mouth. Not literally, like some coaches will tell their players to do. But, it's going to be tough. I don't know if I'm excited or if, this will just be more just pain. Because a lot of this game was pain. But the win feels good. The series being tied 2-2 feels good. And I'll say it again, the Celtics are the hardest team, the worst team for the Sixers to play. But you're tied 2-2, and you got a real shot at winning this series. I mean, you go back to Boston. However that way goes, you still got one game at home. You win that game at home, then you're at 3 games that you've won. You just got to take one more on the road. If you take both on the road and lose at home, I can take that. But you got to win one on the road, and you got to win your last one at home. You just have to. You can't lose this. You can't lose this series, man. They can, because Boston's on paper a better team, but if you win this series, you have a really good shot at making the finals. So you can't lose the series. You got to give it your all. And PJ was out there hustling. I liked what I saw from him. That's why we brought him here. So you got to just fight your heart out, and you got to leave it all on the court. And I'm hoping the Sixers win the series. I still think they got a good shot. I don't think this is ending in 6 games. I think it's going the full 7. Realistically, I see Boston winning Game 5 and Sixers winning Game 6. But I wouldn't be surprised if that was flip-flopped and that's how it got to a Game 7. But, yeah, I think this will end in Game 7, and that will be just a war. But Game 5 is going to be a battle in itself. So we'll see what happens. That's all I got to say. I feel like I'm going to start rambling, but I'm just, I'm tired after that game. That game took a lot out of me, and I was just watching. But Sixers need to continue to step up, need to be better in these last couple games. That's pretty much all I got to say. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and subscribe to the channel for more. Peace.